Hello guys, what's up and welcome to the new tutorial from the SketchUpArchStudio. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can create some super realistic mesmerizing animations in Enscape for a SketchUp. So this tutorial is really easy for people who are beginners or really useful for people who are really advanced in rendering. So I'm gonna start my job with pressing V on my keyboard to open the video editor box in here, or you can click on this option called video editor next to the site context. So I'm going to click on the video editor in here and to start my job with clicking on show grid lines. These grid lines help me to hold my perspective on some type of suitable position. So I'm going to click on the visual setting in here and I can click on the output. You can see the resolution in this place. My resolution right now is the full HD. You can change it to your custom resolution and it completely depends on you. I prefer to use custom resolution 9020 to 1280. It's related to the QHD or maybe Quad HD. So I'm gonna start my job with this clock in here. Lighting is really important, but right now we only want to focus on how we can create some super realistic animation. So I think this type of frame can be good for my starting, or I can start by the flat rendering, some type of render like that. So I prefer to start with this option in here. I want to move like that and come out like this. So I'm gonna create these paths for myself. Very simple and easy. First of all, I'm gonna click on the these plus option here. I'm going to click on it once and twice. So my first keyframe created for me. I don't want to touch anything. I only want to click on my environment, press A or movement keys, something like that. And I'm going to double click on this plus option another time. Now I have my first keyframe and my second keyframe. So it completely depends on you. I'm going to start my job with the keyframe number 1 in here. And I'm going to click on the time of the day. I can't see my artificial lights, so it's related to the time of the day. I'm going to change the PM to the AM. And now we are in the night mode. Very simple and easy. So I'm going to click on the focal point, field of view, and start my job with the field of view a little bit. Maybe something like that can be really good. 66 is enough. And focal point is really important, but if I play with it, you can't see the changes. It's related to your visual setting. So when you create architectural animations, you need to manage both of them, video editor and visual setting. So in the visual setting, I'm gonna turn on the depth of field, for example, 11. I need a little bit blurriness, so I'm gonna adjust the number over 10. And I think focal point is good in here right now. I'm gonna close it in here, and now I can play with the focal point, and you can see the changes very simple and easy. It completely depends on you. I want to focus on this clock in here. For example, 0.6 is enough. And I'm going to click on the update at the end of my job. So first screen related to this animation created for us. I'm going to click on the second one. And now I'm going to click on the timestamp. So I can adjust the duration of this animation. For example, 4 seconds or maybe 3 seconds is enough. Time of the day is okay. So I don't want to check it out. Focal point is good, but I can reduce it to the 57 to make it a little bit closer in the focusing, and field of view can be decreased to the 56, something like that. So I'm going to click on the update. When I click on the keyframe number 1 and click on the play option, I can see the first preview of my animation. So I'm going to click on the last keyframe in here, and now I'm going to adjust it a little bit to the backside, something like that, and double click on this plus option in here. So the timestamp of it is the 11 second. It means that 8 second takes to reach to the 11 second. So when I click on the keyframe number 2, I can see timestamp is 3, and in here timestamp is 11. So it's completely related to your type of work. I prefer to use some number about 6 second, And you can see now we have equal duration between all of our keyframes. You can manage it by your hand manually. I'm going to click on the focal point another time. This time I can change the focusing to some number about 1.58. Field of view can be decreased a little bit or maybe increased to the 61 degree. It helps me to zoom out from my object and subject. I'm going to click on the update option another time. And now another keyframe related to this part, something like that, for example, completely equal. I can use the grid line and double click on these plus option. This time I will timestamp it about 9 seconds. Focal point can be held on these blankets or these tables and lights. I prefer to focus on these lights in here. 1.8 is enough. Field of view can be increased to the 65. We call it dolly zoom. It helps you to create some special artistic animations which related to your interior design. And I'm going to click on the update option another time. So I will zoom out, come to the backside a little bit. Try to hold it in the center point of your room. For example, something like that. And another time I'm going to double click on it. But this time timestamp will be increased to some number about, for example, 12. It's equal with others. I'm going to click on the focal point, change the focal point another time on the lights, because when you change your coordination on your Enscape system, all of the focal points and focus distance will be changed automatically. So you need to set it out by your hand. So 3.06 is enough. Field of view will be changed to the 70, and now it's good. So I'm going to click on the update another time, and now I'm going to click on the keyframe number 1 in here. I'm going to click on the play option. As you can see, animation will be play for us. Very simple and easy. Like that. And now it will be zoom out for us. Something like this. So it's really perfect, but we need to adjust the lighting. So I'm going to click on the last keyframe in here. And I'm going to click on the visual setting. So I'm going to start playing with lights and exposure. First of all, I want to turn on the auto exposure. Re-exposure the screen manually. Something like that. For example, maybe 70% is enough. If you don't like to manage it manually, you can change it to the 50, turn on the auto exposure, and re-exposure to the 56%. Overall field of view can be decreased to the 86, something like that, but you can see the changes. It's really rapidly, so it completely depends on you. When I come back to the field of view and click on the last keyframe, you can see the changes. Very simple, something like that. So don't touch the field of view when you adjust it in the video editor. It's completely different. Visual setting field of view related to the rendering, and field of view in the video editor related to the animation. So sometimes they don't match with themselves very well. Alright, everything is done. I need to add a little bit outline for my job. For example, maybe 6% is enough. In the image bar, I will use the auto contrast. I can increase the saturation to the 107, and I need some warm rendering, so I will decrease it to the 5100 Kelvina. Motion blur related to the speed of framing. I want to hold it to the 40 because we don't need any detailed animation because it's the tutorial. Lens flare can be increased to the 56 and balloon will be decreased to the 8. Vignette can be increased a little bit because we need some dark effect. Something like that. Maybe 74 is enough. And chromatic aberration is 0. In the atmosphere, I don't need sun brightness. Night sky brightness is not really useful. And shadow sharpness will be completely 0 because we need some soft shadows. And finally, we have artificial light brightness. So I minimize the Enscape in here. Click on the SketchUp bar in this place. And I'm going to click on this part of my job. Click on the Enscape objects. So Everything is done in here. I only need to reduce the light power because I need some type of special interior animation. 44 candela is enough. If you think light is not really enough so much, you can adjust it next to it. So I'm going to click on the Enscape material editor and bedroom lights related to these line lights. I will reduce them to the 4 candela. It's completely temporary, not permanently. I will come down like this, select these two beautiful IS profiles in here, copy them to the next sleep light in here. And now we have two lights like that. It's much better. I can adjust the power of them. So I'm going to click on the Enscape objects another time and change it to the 46. You can see the result. It's really wonderful. And you can manage it every type of value you want. So I'm gonna click on displays in here, and I think everything is good. I'm gonna replay it another time, something like that, and the result is really perfect. You can see the light calculation, GI calculation, and other important factors in here. So time for the creating the animation. I'm going to click on the export option in here, and in the resolution you can change it to the full HD or HD. I prefer to use custom. Conversion quality related to the final quality, email, web, Blu-ray, maximum, and lossless. I prefer to use Blu-ray. And FPS can be changed from 25 to 120. If you use RTX, you can use 120, but I prefer to use 13 here. And I'm going to click on the export. So I will export it on my desktop. The number of it is not really important. I'm going to click on the save, and animation will be a start for rendering for us.